The Academy Awards this year was certainly an interesting event that no one watched, but I'm here to give you my opinions about what I thought about it. Because of the pandemic, we didn't have many big blockbusters to come out over the past year, so that meant that most of the nominees went unwatched by the general public. There were no big movies for people to root for, such as Joker or Black Panther. In turn, this caused the amount of people who tuned in to severely drop from the past years, which is not a great sign for the future of the Oscars. But besides the ratings, the set design in Union Station was so nice to look at, and honestly, the first 2 hours of the award show were great to watch. It wasn't until Best Original Song where it really took a downward turn, but I'll get into that later. I think the opening was alright. A little boring, but I love Regina King walking through Union Station, and I feel like every award show should start that way. I did not realize they were already announcing the first award win until they started clapping, so I was very confused. I predicted that Trial of the Chicago 7 would win for Best Original Screenplay, but the actual winner ended up going to Promising Young Woman. I really thought Aaron Sorkin could win something this year, but Promising Young Woman is still very deserving. Also, are Shaka King and Regina King really cousins? Because I thought I heard her say that during the telecast and I lost my mind. I predicted Nomadland, but The Father ended up winning, which I really thought Nomadland was going to sweep most of the categories it was nominated in, but I guess I was wrong. The Father was my choice to win, and I'm so very happy that it won this award because the writing was superb and everyone should watch The Father. For Best International Feature, I predicted Another Round, and yes, Another Round did actually win. This is the first one I predicted correctly, and it was no surprise either that Another Round was going to win because it was also nominated for Best Directing. Although I still stand strong that Kyo Wada Saeda is my winner. For Actor in a Supporting Role, I predicted Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah, and yes, he did actually win. There's no debate here, this one was obvious, so not much else to say, but congratulations Daniel Kaluuya, you deserve it. For Best Makeup and Hairstyling, I predicted Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom did win. And honestly, the winners gave one of the best speeches that I've ever heard, so I'm super happy for them. For Best Costume Design, I predicted Ma Rainey's Black Bottom again, and again Ma Rainey's Black Bottom won. So I got 4 in a row, look at me doing well. For Best Director, I predicted Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Chloe Zhao for Nomadland did win. Thank goodness. Yeah, I really agree with this win, though if Emerald Fennell or Lee Isaac Chung won, I would not have been upset at all because all three were very deserving. But I don't understand why this category was placed so early into the show. Steven Soderbergh, can you explain why? Because that was certainly a choice. For Best Sound, Sound of Metal did win, and I also predicted it winning. Wow, look at me again. This one was a very obvious win, and now I'm at 6 predictions in a row correct, so maybe I'm like a psychic or something. For Best Live Action Short Film, I predicted The Letter Room because of Oscar Isaac, but the actual win ended up going to Two Distant Strangers, which means my win streak is over. But I'm so happy that Two Distant Strangers won. I know some people that didn't like it because the concept was a little wonky in execution, but I didn't mind it, so I'm fully for Two Distant Strangers winning. Plus, it was the only short film this year that actually got me to cry, so it was very well deserved. For Best Animated Short Film, If Anything Happens I Love You did win, and it was the one I predicted as well. And I've already talked on this channel here about how much I don't really like the short film. I'm just not a fan of King Princess, but the winner's speech was so heartfelt and important to raise awareness about, so I'm glad no matter what. For Best Animated Feature Film, Soul was the obvious winner, and so that's why I predicted it, and guess what? It did win. Once again, there's no surprise here, it was the best in the category, and screw you, all you Wolfwalkers fans. For Best Documentary Short Subject, I predicted A Concerto is a Conversation. I don't remember why I predicted that, but it didn't win. The actual winner was Colette. And I keep hearing that Colette was made by a video game company, and now I'm very confused. But Colette was so good, and I'm not upset with its win. For Best Documentary Feature, I predicted Time to win. I thought it really had a chance, but the actual winner was surprisingly My Octopus Teacher. And this is the first time during the show where I actually screamed at the TV because I could not believe this happened. But it did, and I'm confused, but I'm also really happy that My Octopus Teacher won. I don't know, it's just really funny to me, especially because this was the only documentary I didn't nominate in my choices, but oh well, I was wrong. For Best Visual Effects, I know I talked a lot already on my channel about how much I don't like Tenet, but it had really good visual effects, so I must congratulate Christopher Nolan on another Academy Award winning film. Please don't try again for another few years. By the way, I didn't like Dunkirk either, so deal with it. For Best Actress in a Supporting Role, I predicted Ye Jung-yoon for Minari, and guess what? Ye Jung-yoon for Minari did win. So since I have gotten a chance to rewatch Minari ever since filming my Oscar nominations video that I posted about 2 weeks ago, I totally agree that Ye Jung-yoon deserves to win this award 100%, and being Asian, I am so glad to see Asian talent winning major awards like this, especially during recent events and reportings that have been going on throughout the nation. I also would like to mention that after Daniel Kaluuya and Ye Jung-yoon won for supporting categories, I had so much hope that all 4 of the acting categories were going to go to people of color, and I was so excited to see something different from what would normally happen. But hindsight's proved me wrong. For Best Production Design, I predicted Mank to win, and Mank did actually win. And I said in my nominations video, and I quote, "I wouldn't be mad if Mank won here, so I guess I'm not allowed to be mad." For Best Cinematography, I predicted Nomadland to win, but Mank actually won. And this one I'll get mad for, because Nomadland really should have won for cinematography in my opinion. It looked so great, and the color palette was just perfection. There was like a je ne sais quoi about it. I don't know what that means. But there was no color palette in Mank because it was all black and white. For Best Film Editing, I predicted Sound of Metal, and Sound of Metal did win. And you all know how much I love Sound of Metal, so I was very happy to hear that it went to Academy Awards because this movie is so deserving of everything it gets. For Best Original Score, I predicted Soul, and the actual winner was Soul. Again, this was very obvious, but we need all to band together to bring down Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor from gaining too much power, or else they will destroy us all with their musical genius. They're so good. This is where the Oscars took a dip, in my opinion. First off, for the nominations, I predicted Speak Now from One Night in Miami to win, but the actual winner ended up going to Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah. I feel like I've never heard this song before, but when Her performed this, like right before the Oscars, it was really great. So yeah, this is a fine choice. I like this song. But I'm so upset that Husavik didn't win because I'm such a Eurovision fan, but it's okay because at least it was nominated. Okay, now the Oscars trivia song game, whatever that thing was, that was probably the messiest and most boring part of the Oscars in my opinion. I didn't really understand what the rules of the game were, and I cannot burn the video of Glenn Close dancing from my head. But more screen time for Andre Day is never a complaint from me. Okay, now moving on to what should have been the biggest category. We have Best Picture, and I predicted Nomadland to win, and Nomadland it did. No questions here, but why would they change the order of the categories? Best Picture is literally the biggest category, and to not end on this was just not it. I also think that this was a huge disrespect to Chloe Zhao, again after placing her Best Directing win very early on in the show. Her 2 wins were in the biggest categories, and they both felt like an afterthought by the producers of the Oscars because they wanted to tell a storyline that backfired in their faces. For Best Actress in a Leading Role, I had predicted Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman, but the actual winner was Frances McDormand for Nomadland. I shouted at the screen when this win was announced. Don't get me wrong, Frances McDormand did a great performance in Nomadland, but I am very disappointed that neither Carey Mulligan nor Andre Day won for their performances in their films. I know not everyone can win, but I was really rooting for Mulligan and Day. For Best Actor in a Leading Role, I had predicted Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom because he was the clear frontrunner. But the actual win ended up going to Anthony Hopkins for The Father. This is probably going to go down in Oscars history as one of the most controversial wins to ever happen. I would like to clarify that Anthony Hopkins is totally deserving of the award and for his groundbreaking performance in The Father, and I'm very happy that he won. I hope no one sends him any hate or discredits his win because I'm pretty sure he had nothing to do with deciding this. I was just shocked that Chadwick Boseman did not win for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. He seemed like the clear frontrunner to me, and I remember him winning for the other awards as well, but unfortunately he did not win here. That's just the way the votes went and the past can't be changed. So I say we all congratulate Anthony Hopkins for his win, and we also send love to the wife of Chadwick Boseman. And for me, I would like to congratulate Steven Yeun and Riz Ahmed for their nominations for their fantastic performances in Minari and Sound of Metal respectively, because they were also very great. Honestly, I feel like the reason why this category was placed last instead of Best Picture was because the producers at the Academy wanted to end the show with a Chadwick Boseman win, which clearly did not go as they planned. But yeah, this was not the move. Keep Best Picture last and move Best Directing farther into the show. So those are my opinions about this year's Academy Awards. Please comment down below how you felt about the awards this year, because it certainly was a complicated and controversial event, I gotta say. Also, comment down below if you didn't watch the Oscars, because apparently no one did except for me and like 5 other people. Congratulations to all the winners and nominees this season, and I'll see you all next time.